Part 5. Life After McKinsey. As one former McKinseyite told me, leaving McKinsey is never a question of whether, it's a question of when. We used to say that the half-life of a class of new associates is about 2 years. By the end of that time, half will have left the firm. That was true in my time there and still is today. There is life after McKinsey, however. In fact, there may be more life, since you are unlikely to work the same hours at the same intensity in any other job. There is no doubt, however, that the vast majority of former McKinseyites land on their feet. A quick scan through the McKinsey alumni directory, which now contains some 5,000 names, reveals any number of CEOs, CFOs, senior managers, professors, and politicians. All those alumni carry with them memories of McKinsey, of lessons learned, of goals reached or missed. The firm has left its mark on them as much as they left their marks on their clients. In these last few pages, I want to share some of those memories with you. 20. The most valuable lesson. Everyone who enters McKinsey leaves it with a slightly different impression. Although most former McKinseyites have decidedly mixed views of the firm, all would say they learned important lessons there. In writing this book, I had 2 goals. The first was to trans-MIT some of the skills and techniques that make McKinsey and McKinseyites so successful at what they do. The second goal was to convey to the outsider some idea of what it's like to work at McKinsey and with McKinsey people. By the time you've come this far in the book, I hope that I have succeeded in both. As we reach the final pages, I wanted to share with you the answers to a question that I asked of every former McKinseyite I communicated with: what was the most valuable lesson you learned at the firm? Some of the answers involve material you've already seen, at some length, in this book. Others describe lessons that cannot be taught, only learned. Here, in their own words, are the most valuable lessons learned by a baker's dozen of former McKinseyites. Preserve your integrity at all times. You will encounter any number of gray areas in business life. Always take the high road. Do the Wall Street Journal test. If you are comfortable with reading about your actions on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, then it's okay. If not, you are pushing the ethical envelope. Don't. Eric Hartz, Atlanta/DC/Paris offices, 1986 to 95, now president of Security First Network Bank, Atlanta. Consulting is best thought of as a profession. Putting the client first is the key to successful client service. To do so, you must maintain your professional objectivity. It has allowed me to stand my ground when a client hasn't heard what he wants to hear, or to walk away when the client doesn't want to work with me, and has helped me focus on what truly drives value for my clients. Jeff Sakaguchi, LA office, 1989 to 95, now an associate partner at Anderson Consulting. 170 Life after McKinsey. Focusing resources and eliminating hierarchy lead to superior decision-making. The firm's clients had a hard time doing either one when attempting major change. Former EM in the Cleveland office. Personally, the most valuable lesson I learned was humility. I joined McKinsey as a 24-year-old associate with a track record of uninterrupted success. For the first time, I was surrounded by people who were better prepared and more skilled than I was. Professionally, I learned to structure problems so that they can be solved. The firm taught me that every problem has a solution. It may not be perfect, but it will allow me to take actions that are directionally correct. Wesley Sand, Chicago office, 1993 to 96. I can't point to any one thing. It has to do with problem solve ing, the idea that any problem, no matter how daunting, can be broken into its constituents and solved. The other thing is that there is nothing new under the sun. Whatever you're doing, someone else has done it before. Find that person. Suzanne Tosini, New York and Caracas offices, 1990 to 95, now a senior manager at Freddie Mac. The one firm concept. No stars, just meritocracy. That culture is extremely strong within the firm, and I think it can work in other organizations too. I'm implementing it in mine. Gresham Brebeck, former DCS in the New York office, now President and CEO of NextEra Enterprises. The most valuable lesson 171. Execution and implementation are the key. A blue book is just a blue book, unless you do something with it. Getting things done is the most important thing. Former EM in the New York office. I learned to value strongly honesty and integrity in Boosie Ness. This is something McKinsey inculcates in its people and insists upon. Hamish McDermott, New York office, 1990 to 94, now a senior manager in a Wall Street investment bank. Don't fear end products. They go a long way. Generate end products. Former associate in the New York office. When faced with an amorphous situation, apply structure to it. Kristen Asleson, New York office, 1990 to 93, now work ING in Silicon Valley. I think anything I say would be too cynical. Former associate in the London office. I would rather be surrounded by smart people than have a huge budget. Smart people will get you there faster. Former associate in the New York office. 172 Life after McKinsey. You may be asking yourself, with some justification, what my most valuable lesson was. I've had a lot of time to think about that one. Here it goes. Anything that gets in the way of efficient communication is anathema to a strong organization. Fuzzy thinking, obfuscatory jargon, impenetrable hierarchy, and playing the yes man get in the way of adding value for customers or clients. Structured thinking, clear language, a meritocracy with the obligation to dissent, and professional objectivity allow an organization and its people to reach their maximum potential. Of course, McKinsey has its own word for this. It's called professionalism. Ethan M. Rasiel. Memories of McKinsey. The firm leaves its alumni with vivid memories. Here is a sampling. I asked former McKinseyites not only for their most valuable lesson, but also for the thing they remember most about the firm. Although this selection shows that McKinsey alumni took away many memories, the strongest ones had to do with the people that make the firm what it is. What stays with me is the rigorous standard of information and analysis, the proving and double proving of every recommendation, combined with the high standard of communication both to clients and within the firm. Former associate in the Boston and New York offices. The thing I remember most is the very high performance standards and the relentless drive for excellence that you see among the people there. It's not something you will necessarily find outside the firm. There's an attitude within the firm that says, if there's a problem, give us the resources and we'll solve it. We'll just go out and do it. Outside the firm, you often run into the attitude that says, it can't be done, and that's just not acceptable at McKinsey. Jason E. Klein, New York office, 1989 to 93, now president of Field and Stream/Outdoor Life magazine. The thing that I remember most, that I enjoyed most, was the team problem solving. I enjoyed the power of thinking in a small group of very smart people. Abe Bleiberg, Washington, D.C. office, 1990 to 96, now a vice president at Goldman Sachs. Structure. MECE. Hypothesis-driven. Former associate in the Dusseldorf and San Francisco offices, I have incredibly fond memories of the people at the firm. There is a density of high-quality, smart, motivated people that I haven't found anywhere else. Hamish McDermott, the caliber of the people McKinsey recruits and retains throughout the organization, and not just in the consult ING function. Former associate in the New York office, the people. On average, they are smart and fun to be with. Former EM in the New York office, the average mental capacity of the staff, be it the newest associate or the most senior director, and the approachable. ity of people within the firm, regardless of hierarchy. Gresh Brebeck. 176 Life after McKinsey. The collegiate atmosphere. The thing I miss most about McKinsey is the canteen, not so much because the food was good, but because you could always take time out for an interesting conversation. Former associate in the London office. The quality of the people. In the corporate world, the average caliber employee is far below McKinsey's least intelligent. Wesley Sand. The people, the wide range of people one came in contact with, both at the firm and at the clients. McKinsey consultants shared a dedication to client service and a concern for the needs of the client. Suzanne Tosini. One of the advantages of being an author is that, at least within the confines of your own work, you get to have the last word. Where possible, I have tried to illustrate the key points in this book with stories from my experiences and those of former McKinseyites. For my last story, I'm going to reach a bit farther back than that. One day in ancient Israel, a Gentile came to the great Rabbi Shammai and asked of him, "Teach me the law while I stand on one foot." Although he was a great scholar, Shammai was not known for his patience. He called the Gentile impudent and chased him away. The Gentile then took his question to Shammai's great scholastic rival, Rabbi Hillel. Without hesitation, Hillel motioned the man to stand one-legged, while the Gentile balanced in the Memories of McKinsey 177. Rabbi's study, Hillel told him, "Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. The rest derives from that. Go and learn." What does this story have to do with McKinsey and with your career or business at the turn of the millennium? I'm not Hillel by a long stretch, and the McKinsey Way is not by any means holy writ. Still, it contains an essential core. To wit, fact-based, structured thinking combined with professional integrity will get you on the road to your business goals. The rest derives from that. Go and learn.
About the author. Ethan M. Rasiel joined McKinsey & Company's New York office in 1989 and worked there until 1992. While at the firm, his clients included major companies in the finance, telecommunications, computing, and consumer goods sectors. He has also worked as an investment banker and an equity fund manager. He has a bachelor's degree from Princeton and an MBA from Wharton. He now lives with his wife and family in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.